Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. I'm having such a good time with this series so far. So we have a ton of money, a ton of income, there's probably some trade to renegotiate. We finally finished the research path that I've had us on since basically the beginning of the game, so we're going to have to make some new decisions about that. But before we get into any of that stuff, any of that spreadsheet, numbers, management stuff, let's eliminate a force, an entire faction of goblins, and take back what I imagine is a pretty important Carrack. Again, my knowledge of the lore is not super great, but this is one whose name I recognize, so it's got to be important. Now, we do have to be a little concerned here. A giant is a problem. Giants are dangerous. And, of course, there's trolls and stuff, but I think we're going to be able to, you know... I don't want to say cheese. We're not really cheesing it. I'm just going to go. I'm not going to wait for this to finish. It's not really cheese, but, you know, we're going to do that wall thing again. We keep doing this wall thing, and... I mean, it's just going to keep working, right? It's not a foolproof strategy. It doesn't solve all problems, but it's really good against greenskin garrisons because even in the cases where they can put up units that can match us one-on-one, like Black Orcs, they just can't run enough of those units. You know, we end up fighting a lot of much less impressive units. Honestly, I'm not even that worried about biggins anymore. Not with the Longbeards. Oh, I guess this army is a little short on Longbeards. Once we're going up against, like, I don't know, potentially there are some dwarf tribes in the world that don't seem to care for us much. So if we end up against other dwarves, or, like, honestly, as tough as dwarves are, I don't know that I would put us up against Sauruses 1-to-1. I haven't played as lizardmen at all, ever, so I don't really know what their stats look like. I don't have a super great grasp of their units and how their upgrades work. But I have bad memories from that game we played as Skrulk, just like never being able to kill a unit of Sauruses ever under any circumstances. And who knows, we may end up in competition with some lizardmen because there are mountain ranges that we need to take for our objective list that are in jungly lizard mini areas. I don't know, I have high hopes that over the next couple of episodes we're going to be getting into battle against some new types of enemies, so that should be fun. Alright, we got reinforcements coming in right here. That's a little awkward. I'd prefer to play close to the walls of the area, as I always do. So I will. You know what? They'll endure some fire as they run across, but I think this is still right. Alright, now we want to have you guys, the shieldy guys, lead the push to the wall. We're a little wounded. Makes me a little nervous about that, I guess, but we'll be fine. Once we get up onto the walls, things will be easy enough, I think. I guess they have kind of a lot of Black Orcs, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to preemptively be worried about it. Let's just get close. Figure out what things look like when we're close. I probably don't need this, and let's go. So as always, we want to make sure these guys run forward, and you. These guys run forward first because I want the towers not to focus on the Slayers too much. The Slayers do love to run out in front. Alright, good luck with the catapults. Maybe focus a little further back. So they put a shaman right up on the front of the wall. Catapults are doing the best they can to just hit him directly with a big rock. Actually, honestly, not bad accuracy so far. Get over here, we'll figure this out in a bit. So catapults. Yeah, just come join the catapult line. And the rest of you can start moving up. Can I issue orders on the minimap? Oh, I totally can. Cool. Try to get people heading generally in the right direction. Obviously, the more we run toward the wall, the longer we're in the arc of these other towers, which is a little bit of a shame. Ah, yes. I forgot about the goblobber. I was like, what was that sound? But that sound was a goblin flying through the air and not really enjoying it that much. Okay, so they put a bunch of goblins and an orc shaman on top of the wall, and that appears to be everything on this side. Archers over here. Something's claiming this tower, right? What is... Ah, a single goblin big boss is giving them that tower. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. Ungrim actually can go and put a ladder up over here. I want him to get on top of the wall quickly this time. Alright, let him have it. Yeah, these goblins are not handling this so well. You guys are way too far to the side. I'm gonna have this guy run up that wall after him. I love when the Goblobber rock flies across the screen and you get to see that just for a moment, that a goblin just hurling across and screaming. We should probably kill the catapult fire now. Catapults. You guys could hold off for a second, because at this point you are just firing directly into the backs of our units.
On the way! Get your beards up there! They have wronged us! Start climbing!
Plus, I don't want the walls to break. I don't want to have to fight that giant until we have expended a lot of arrows and stuff in its general direction.
Attack!
Get him!
It is an order!
Can't help but notice that you are allowing him to get away. Ungrim, focus, dude. And I think the Rune Lord can, or the Rune Smith rather, can take on a unit of goblins by himself. That shouldn't be a problem. So this is, yeah, this is something I want to be using on a big group. Just like start raining death on people down there. Okay, we're going to take the wall, no problem. In fact, that tower's ours already. Okay. I'm thinking we could probably start moving the siege units up, although I don't know what my plan is here. They're keeping the giant far away from the walls, which is smart. Because if they don't do it that way, then I get to shoot the giant with all of my archers and stuff. Hey look, we're finally fighting enemies who aren't also wearing red. I can kind of tell what's happening in this battle. The big boss is kind of hiding from me, making me hack through all of these little goblins one by one to get to him. I mean, I guess that's a pretty goblin-y thing to do. They're casting spells on us. Alright, so how are we doing on actually clearing the ladders here? We're doing an alright job. I think we can probably just go ahead and... I'm trying to get you to attack. Here we go. I think we can probably just go ahead and pull ranged units up onto the wall, right? Let's start with these guys. Follow with you. You can get up here. We don't necessarily actually need everybody to get up onto the wall. Some people can wait for the second phase of the battle, stay fresh, and come through the gate after we open it. Because there's no way we're going to be able to defeat them entirely from the wall. Are you guys just raining arrows down on their... Yep, they're just firing at the Lord. I mean, it seems to be doing okay damage. That's a big boss. This is an orc shaman. Who is actually their leader? Hold on, let's look around real quick. It's this guy, right? Yeah. Okay, Grom Dribblechin. Gross. That's a bad, gross war chief name. I should be careful. I should try to use these rune charges on enemies that actually like are dangerous. Oof, the magic is a problem. Well, like, hold on. Where are all their black orcs? Don't they have black orcs? They do. They're super far away. I thought they had a bunch of units of black orcs. Maybe I am misremembering. Yeah, okay, here. Go ahead and wrath and ruin those nerds. Actually, try to get in on that big boss if you can. That would be really cool if we could take this guy down. Every lord we can remove lowers the odds that any particular enemy will be standing in a leadership aura. And, I mean, you know how these guys are when they don't have a leadership aura to back them up. Alright, I think we can move up the catapults now. I still don't actually know what the plan is with them, but let's get them a little closer so they can fire into the city center if we need them to.
Get your beards up there! Slayers!
Still don't really know what the plan is with the rest of the Slayers. Like, we probably don't want to put everybody up on the walls, right? I probably want to get a lot of the ranged up onto the walls at some point. But I don't think it's necessary to put all of the melee up, because we're not even going to be able to run all the melee in actual combat. Looks like Ungrim is doing the thing that Ungrim does, where he runs over to enemy lords and then cuts them in half. Alright, and we want these guys... Well, these black orcs actually coming up. Yeah, so I want these guys to get, like, over here. We might be able to fire down on the black orcs. It's always kind of hard to tell... Oh, no, wait, they're actually coming up. I'll have at them. They definitely get another cast. Look at them, their morale's breaking almost immediately. I say, the effect for the spells, I guess the idea is they have to be simple and they have to be readable at a distance. But they're not really that cool looking. Are you guys really having trouble killing Night Goblin archers? How is this not over yet? So yeah, they're running up the units of black orcs one by one here. And losing remarkably quickly. So I'm having a really hard time actually clicking on this flag. So yeah, what we need is try to get a little bit of focus. So you guys do fire damage. It would be pretty cool to have us firing fire weapons at these trolls. Are you guys actually gonna be able to get into position? I'm a little worried that they're they're gonna do the thing they just did where they jump down the wall for no reason. And you guys... Okay, they are able to climb back up the inside of the wall. Some of them are. Go, get in there. That would be really cool if we could get a hold of some of these lords. This guy's gonna run up. He's probably just gonna run right back down after I get Ungrim on him, is my guess. Wow, that was a big hit. Did you see that? The guy's dead. Yeah, Ungrim just cut him. No, wait, here he is. Never mind, he's tricky. That was a different goblin that just went down like that. Okay, so where's my catapults are in position now. If we want to start doing stuff, what options do we have? I could probably just be group selecting these. Oh, hey now. Hey now. Let's maybe apparently reposition these slayers so they're not getting shot. You don't have to run. These guys should probably get up on the wall, though. And honestly, I could just have them, like... Yeah, just run over here, put up ladders, get up there. If you have to get involved in melee combat with some goblin archers, I know you will win, so... But yeah, we're going to take this a little bit slow. We're just going to do our best here to not lose units unnecessarily. So it kind of looks like my quarrelers are not firing, right? I'm a little worried about telling them to pick targets. What are you guys doing? I definitely did not tell them to attack again after I got them back up on the wall, right? Did I? I don't think so. It's weird. I would love it if they would, like, not kill themselves on a bunch of black orcs. Okay, look, there we go. There's some fire. I guess they couldn't fire before because the enemy was too close to the wall. They can't fire downward, really. All of you, just kind of get over here. Okay, anyway, back to what I was doing. You guys. What do we actually have angles on? Yeah, the wall's going to be a problem, right? So we can only shoot at stuff that's pretty far back. I kind of wish we had, like, mortars. Yeah, sure, let these trolls have it. It looks like the catapults are probably not actually going to be that useful at this point. We can sure put a lot of rocks in those trolls, though. So, units like this that have regeneration, each individual figure has a limited amount of health and a limited amount of regeneration capacity. So you can, it's usually not a great idea to spend a lot of effort doing damage to regeneration units from afar like that. But you actually can kill individual figures if you're hitting them with individual attacks that do enough damage. I get you to actually, like... I don't know why you guys won't fire off the wall. It's very tricky to get people to fire off the wall. I'm curious if we can get these guys into a position where they will actually try. Yes, you can see. And once an individual troll is dead, it will not regenerate. He effectively lowers the capacity of the unit to have health. Okay, there we go. We're getting some fire off the wall now. I'm a little concerned. Like, I don't want to direct them, though, because I'm afraid they'll jump off the wall to engage in melee combat with whatever I tell them to attack. Alright, may as well fire off our last rune thing here. Let's try to get, yep, unit of Black Orcs if we can. We're going to have to go down there and just fight that war boss pretty soon. Getting some good damage out of this, though. Maybe don't need to be in a terrible hurry. What is over here? Unit of Orc boys, just in case I was flanking. Getting ready to come through the other door. They want to be ready. Man, the maximum range of a catapult is impressive. So the deal with the giant is we're just going to, as soon as it comes up into melee, we're going to drop all of our ranged on it. And I kind of think, like, we should maybe stop using up our ranged at this point. By which I mean, I think it's time to go. Let's get down there and do the thing. Do I want to have... Let's have a couple units of Dwarf Warriors be the start. Obviously, the Slayers got to get down, but I don't want the Slayers to get down in front. Yeah, at this point, what they have left is pretty minimal. They're still Black Orcs, but... So we want units of Slayers to come down last. Longbeards get down here and engage. So the other units can get their flank on. Alright, get to him. Show that Orc Lord who's boss.
It is an order. Slayers.
Actually, the Black Orcs have already kind of chosen their target, it looks like, so why don't we get in?
For the Karazhan Corps. Fight!
Yeah, I like it when the enemies are wearing a different color armor than we are. Doesn't seem to happen a lot. So we don't have control of this gate. And it's gonna be a little while before we do. What is broken already? Oh my god. We've been in combat with this guy for like 5 seconds. Also, I guess I should, you know, buff the melee defense of all my dudes since we're in here and everything. Come on, Grim, get him one more time. Just one more hit. I think he's gonna get away. Come on, wade through those goblins. Yeah, he's getting away. So he's broken. He's going to run all the way off the map, which means they are going to lose the morale effect of having an active lord, but I don't think they will take the morale penalty from having their lord have died on the battlefield, because he is going to successfully flee. I'm going to move the... Actually, you know what? They're not firing off the wall anyway, right? I'm going to actually have them get down here. Let's have them run to this part of the wall, and then we'll have them get down for there. I don't want them to come down here and try to run through. Oops, that's not right. There we go. Face this way. You guys should also get down and face this way. You can be firing into the enemy flanks here. It looks like we are firing from the wall, but it doesn't feel reliable. And then when we get control of the gate in a second here, we will... You guys maybe get down off the wall? Come down here and help a little bit?
Strike out! Plow through!
Okay, there we go. Now we're getting down.
How about them? Killers! Let's start shooting! More challenge for dumbass.
Also, apparently we still haven't killed this unit of trolls. We're doing some alright work.
Obey me! Thunderous!
Thunderers are doing some work on these goblins, at least. It's a good thing this guy doesn't want to, like, turn around and really do some damage. I think, actually, we should probably move, like, a little bit further, right? As it is, I don't think we're actually getting to shoot into the Black Orcs. There we go. This should be effective. Any moment now, guys. Just go ahead and, you know, just go ahead and... Do I need to tell them? It looks like they're getting the rifles out and then they're forgetting what they were doing. Fire! No, okay, they're figuring it out. They'll get there eventually. These guys have got it. Okay, now the Black Orcs are caught in a serious crossfire. The Iron Drakes can get off the wall, but they're not going to be useful right away. And the Giant is still not joined the battle. I think by the time he actually elects to get over here, it's going to be too late. Alright, Slayer's through the gates. Looks like we got control of them now. This is going to be grim for these boys. Hidden foes, huh? Okay, just normal-ass night goblins. You know, honestly, they're taking the initial volley better than I thought they would. Yeah, that's good. Hold your shields up. That'll help. Yeah, things are just going, like, pretty well over here on the other fronts. We may as well have the catapults refocus on the Giant, I guess? This unit of night goblins. Shoot at that. Never mind, they're giving up. Oh, I think we broke their morale. We're not even going to fight the Giant. Never mind. That was less trouble than I thought it was going to be. For real, I can't believe they didn't bring the Giant forward right away. That would have been... As soon as we were off the walls, I would have charged the Giant forward. So... Yeah, Ungrim's army took some losses. I think these two dwarf warrior units might actually be dead. But that's fine, we need to replace them with Longbeards anyway. So yeah, we are going to be super rich. I imagine that we're going to make a fair amount of money here from this battle. We could sack and occupy Karaz-Karak. I believe this is the faction that starts in control of it, so it has probably been steadily upgraded over the course of the game, and we're at like turn 100. We're very close to turn 100, so they've had a lot of time to max it out, which means there may be an awful lot of gold worth of stuff in there. So yeah, what are we going to do with 20,000 gold? Honestly, I don't even know. I think all of our gold mines are pretty good or close to they're close to being fully upgraded. So I guess we're mostly going to spend it on really expensive building upgrades. Unfortunately, 20,000 gold is only going to buy like 2 high-tier upgrades. Upgrading stuff to level 4 and 5 is just incredibly expensive. Yeah, look at these numbers. We had 3 units of Slayers that just sat in the back and waited until the gates came open. Didn't even really get to participate in the battle. I was expecting that the second phase of that battle, the post-walls phase, to last a whole lot longer than it did. And honestly, I'm a little surprised to see that our Iron Drakes got 22 kills, because I felt like they didn't fire their weapons at all. Because there was that phase where they were down on the ground fighting orcs. Maybe they killed a bunch of guys in melee. Okay, so it looks like only actually one of the dwarf warrior units was removed. I can't pass up 11,000 gold, right? I know looting the place messes up all the buildings and stuff, but... yeah, damage isn't that bad. 24, you know, we may as well repair these so that we have some basic recruitment stuff. But yeah, on the whole, very, very positive for money. 25,000 gold we have sitting here. So, what do I want to do with all that money? Hold on, let's do with this. What on earth was I doing with his skill points? Oh yeah, we're going to finish off Dragon Slayer. At some point we are going to run into some dragons. We will want to have a Slayer of Dragons. So we have some recruitment buildings here. We can cover our losses. Let's get a unit of Longbeards into this army. I don't necessarily know that we need to fill his army up. He can probably follow up with just this force and contribute significantly. So, let's focus on buildings. I feel like I haven't really done a tour of our provinces recently. Let's just start at the top of the list. Blood River Valley, what do you need? Duck Karaz probably needs to finish wall upgrades. And then we should probably do this as well so that we can recruit Longbeards over here, which totally might be a thing we need to do. But beyond that, I don't know that we need to do much. Oh, Duckarez should have its salt building, though. Wait. Oh, okay. Salt lowers the recruitment cost of gunpowder units considerably. Does that... Okay, the cost reduction doesn't go up too much, but an upkeep reduction for all gunpowder units in all armies is actually pretty cool. It's a shame we won't be able to max that out because it's in a minor settlement. Alright, nothing else looks terribly important right now, so we'll come back if it turns out we still have money left. I suspect it will not be the case. Don't think we really need to upgrade anything here. Over here, Castle Drakenhof. I do want to get access to Giant Slayers, but we want to do it in Carrick Cadron first because we need to do that for objectives anyway. Do I want to try to save population for maxing out Castle Drakenhof? Well, no, we probably need to actually develop Eschen a little bit because we need to put walls around it. We need to do that in both places, I guess, and Waldenhof's closer to being done. Not that I expect the Empire to attack us. But also, how much can you trust a human? Yeah, let's go Waldenhof first. We can finish the walls there. As you can see, it takes forever to do everything in these regions that are not your preferred climate type. Okay, we did cap out our gold mine here. Still focused on growth. Yeah, I mean, I should still finish stuff. So I think you're fine for now. Okay, Carrick Cadron. This needs to happen, and this is expensive. I knew we were going to need a lot of money for that. Does anything important need to happen in the Rib Peaks? Rib Peaks is 2 turns away from starting to finish off the starting the final level of the gold mine upgrade. I probably want to save money. Like, honestly, I think Karazakarak is far enough away from the front that we don't really need to worry about the defenses or the recruitment buildings here anymore. And Mount Squighorn and the Pillars of Grungni have nothing about them is compelling me to upgrade them any. So yeah, I think we're just going to wait until we hit 5 population, do this, and build the landmark buildings. How much is that, the gyrocopter thing? 8,000? Okay, maybe we can do this next turn. It turns out I actually really like gyrocopters. Who knew? Jufbar, do we get a big benefit from upgrading this? Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that the recruitment cost and recruit rank buffs only apply to units in Jufbar, but again, upkeep reductions for all of our melee units, basically. That's pretty significant. We should push this. And the Eastern Badlands, right, that's this. So we, honestly, we're probably... Oh yeah, what is the landmark here? The Great Underway Junction. Campaign movement range plus 20% for armies that start their turn in this region. 5 growth, all provinces, 10% trade income. Yeah, okay, this is pretty good. Definitely want to get this building. Do I want to get this building more than any of the things I've already started? Because it is pretty great. Yeah, we could probably cut something from somewhere else. Duckaraz definitely needs its walls. You know what? The walls here are not as important. Let's take back that money and use that to start construction on this landmark right away. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. And now, hold on. We gotta do research, but first, diplomacy, because I will forget. So we don't yet know Greybeard's prospectors. Where are these guys at? Oh, I mean, yeah, they're the place where the map zoomed to, right. So this is down in Tomb King's Land. They are at war with the followers of Nagash and also some vampire faction.
By the light of the lady.
Ah, okay, right. Bretonia got control of those ports. I remember. Yeah, may as well get military access from them now. It's unlikely we'll ever need it. But actually, you know what? We totally might, because we have to destroy the Crooked Moon faction. It's one of our objectives, so we do have to come over here.
Agreed.
And it looks like we cannot rely on the AI to do this for us.
No,
yeah, you know what? Carcassonne might come around.
If you desire it.
Okay, cool. That trade value is actually pretty good, too. 500 extra gold per turn. We need to fix this problem. So, like, what does the Empire's territory look like right now? Is this their capital settlement over here? Or no, their capital is probably Nuln, right? Nope, Isleheart. It's got the, like, the eagle around the shield. So we need to get a connection between our empire and... Man, it's going to be a while before we can trade with them. They're so eager, though. They want to give us their money. We're not trading with the followers of Nagash. Okay, so that's all we're doing. Still, though, pretty good. Okay, now, research. So we got Grungni's Blessing. We just got money coming in. We could do Dwarfen Grimm's. What are we getting from... We only have one gem cutter right now, and what are we actually getting from that? 900, so that tech is actually 90 gold per turn. It's probably not worth the time. You know what? Honestly, it might be time for, well, you know, construction duty's pretty good, now that we're in the expensive buildings. But it might be time to actually start taking military techs. What else do we have available here? Plus trade income. Oh, and these are early ones, too, so they're pretty fast. Yeah, okay, let's get these. Our military units don't really seem to need buffs very badly. They seem to be getting the job done. Okay, real quick, let's pop in here and just make sure... So we're working on this. We're working on this. We gotta take Ekrund still, but we'll get to it. We have to destroy the two main Norscan factions, Clan Molder, which is up by Norska as well, I believe, the Crooked Moon, and Argwalon, which is in the mountains to the south of Crooked Moon. And then, I mean, we'll work on this. We have to have Slayers in our armies, of course I do, and we have to have 5 full armies at least. Where are we at on our chapter objectives? Is that not gonna fire, or maybe when I hit end, you know, maybe it'll fire at the beginning of next turn. So we might get a big infusion of cash next turn. And we need Ungrim's army to be healthy for these. Grombrindle needs to kill some greenskins, which is a little awkward considering where he is. You know what he can do is he can rampage to the west and then, oh, I forgot about you. He can rampage to the west and then kill some of Skarsnik's armies, the Crooked Moon stuff. Yeah, Grombrindle's going to be leading the charge westward, so after he finishes hacking his way through all the vampires, he'll get a move on with that quest. Ashag the Slaughterer is nearby, and he has a full army. That is something we have to be a little bit worried about. For some reason, Engrund is not taking Akendorf. I thought that would get settled right away. I don't know, maybe it's worth it for us to go over there. Oh boy. So the Crooked Moon has declared war on Bretonia. That could be really bad for us, because I like having that trading partner. Alright, they have failed to block our army. Like I said, I think we're just gonna march west and burn all this stuff. Khazrak One-Eye has killed Boris Todbringer and burned Essen. Yeah, Bretonia and Carcassonne are both looking pretty weak. Norska and Wintertooth aren't looking terribly strong either, though. And then, yeah, somewhere out there beyond the shore, still many, many factions we have not yet met. So we have to go north, we have to go west, and we have to go south. We have to go to every place that is not the edge of the map still. Man, yeah, we're like 100 turns in, and I feel like we're still in the opening of the game. Do you want a non-aggression pact and you'll pay for it? Absolutely. Norska's making progress on the coast here. It looks like some of the minor Norscan factions are still alive, which is actually probably a good thing. A united Norska is not something we want to have to deal with. So this is annoying. These guys are gonna declare war on us eventually if they think there's an opening, so we should probably go ahead and veer some armies north and deal with that. Looks like Tilly is doing a really good job of putting pressure on the greenskins down here. If Tilia takes Ekrund before I get to it, is that grudge just going to fester forever, or will that cancel it? Because I think the grudge just says own Ekrund. I don't think it says kick the orcs out of Ekrund. I would love it if I didn't have to backstab one of my allies to accomplish our grudges. Okay, yeah, so another 10,000 gold on top of the 9,000 gold we got from income. Ancient underground foes have attacked in Carrick 8 Peaks, which is annoying more than anything. And we're working on our next chapter. So yeah, when you get that event, it damages the buildings very, very slightly. It costs basically nothing to repair them, but it does make the settlement not functional for a turn, which is fairly annoying. Alright, so this is our next problem with these two. Ogrim needs a turn of rest.
Iron-willed.
I guess we have enough income. We can afford to recruit properly for this army. Gyro Bomber's still 9 turns out. So we're going to be sitting for 2 turns. We may as well recruit some stuff that takes a little bit longer. You know, if these guys are coming in as reinforcements all the time, it'll actually be really helpful for us to have gyrocopters. So wait, is it, a gyro bomber is a different kind of unit, right? Like, can I get another one of those? Does it come from the top level version of this thing? Yeah, okay. So we want to try to get some gyro bombers because they seem to be awesome, but we have to upgrade this first. That's a lot of money. Getting both of those things to level 5. Well, let's just get some gyrocopters. So I think we want to go with this one, the anti-infantry gyrocopter. And then, what else could your army use? It's mostly just reinforcements, right? So it makes a lot of sense for a lot of this army to be ranged. You know what, get me a couple of organ guns. Give me, sorry, 1 organ gun.
Not up then.
So he does have some large stuff. He also has, I'm not really sure what the deal is with the squig herd. I've not had to fight these too much. Large, anti-infantry, armor-piercing. They have rampage, and what is this? Duration constant, target self, active if an enemy presence is nearby, plus 12 leadership. Okay, so they love fighting. It's gonna be hard to break them. That's fine. We'll just kill them. Yeah, man, there are orcs everywhere. Alright, it turns out we still have our work cut out for us down here. Now, let's worry about these armies. 9% range for artillery. We could probably move on the moot. We're going to have to fall back to friendly territory and heal soon. You know what? There's no reason that can't be right now. Let's just drop back here, and we'll take a couple of turns to replenish. So you have 4 units of Slayers. He probably doesn't really need more ranged. We have 5 units of, like, tough guys to hold the line, and also sort of these miners. Yeah, let's just get another unit of Longbeards.
The runes are cast.
I'll try to make his army not terribly squishy. Over here...
The throng agrees. How can I help?
Grumbrindle definitely has to fall back. We need replenishment very badly. What do I want to grab for his army? He probably needs to chill for a couple of turns, so why don't we get some Iron Breakers? Hammerers? Which one of these things do I actually want? So Iron Breakers are just crazy tough. Look at that, 70 melee defense. Yeah, alright, so it's a damage dealer tank split. Well, his army needs probably damage dealers more. I do like the grenades. We could recruit something a little fancier. He probably has enough siege stuff. We could bring another unit of gyrocopters in. Nah, his army probably has enough siege stuff. Let's make it troops.
Summon me if you dare.
And then while that is happening, you may as well also get good replenishment on. We'll give the vampires a couple of turns to recover, which is unfortunate, but I think it's worth coming back and rebuilding. So you also have a lot of tough units. Slayers are 44, 33, 48 on their offensive stats. Hammerers are just better. They're not as fast. They don't have as much charge bonus. But they seem to be pretty much just better. That said, they also do cost a considerable amount more to keep running. And you know what? Honestly, on a unit that's supposed to be flanking, speed is pretty important.
For clan honor.
And then we're probably going to be parked for a couple of turns, so you guys should have some siege stuff. I'm actually really digging these Orchid guns for fighting vampires. You know what, why don't we do it like this? We're going to cut you... There we go. If we rearrange that a little bit, we can get all that done in 2 turns. And then in 2 turns we'll march again. This army won't be in full perfect shape, but it'll be good enough. Alright, so I probably want to finish the walls around Waldenhof, especially now that we know there are beastmen over here. We're 18 turns off of being able to cap Carrick Cadron. Man, growth is a real pain. Well, I mean, it's not really much for it. I could increase our growth by 8 points. You know, it'll take some turns off, right? Probably a couple. Yeah, sure. And here in Jufbar, we're probably just waiting. I mean, we may as well force growth there, too. Oakenhammer probably does not need walls. So if we have an open slot, we may as well make it a trinket maker. Kazad Urkulas, we probably don't really... I mean, like, we could build another growth building. The first one's worth 15. Out here on the Silver Road, we honestly maybe just like maybe just focus on upgrading growth, because man, there's still a lot of growing to do. Here we probably wait. At some point it would be nice to be able to tear down some of these defensive structures, but I don't think that that's the place we're in right now. Aztec probably will not march on us.
The Slayer in me seeks death.
No, I think we're too healthy. I think it'd be crazy for him to do. And as far as I know, it is not possible for the AI to have Lightning Strike. Or maybe it's not possible for them to use it, rather. At some point, Kurgan Granite Hand's tiny little legs are going to carry him south far enough to introduce us to the rest of the Tomb Kings. Hopefully, some of whom will have ports. I think there's a lot of coastline down there, you know? So here's a question. As we push westward, it's going to be worth it for us to come down to Migdal von Galbarak and drive the orcs out, just so that we don't have to deal with it anymore. Do I want to actually inhabit it if I do that? I kind of think the answer is no. I don't really want to hold one part of a province. I guess I could take it with an eye toward still getting Clan Engrund confederated at some point. They're a lot less likely to confederate with us if they are in good health. Which is part of why I had sort of written that off. Like, they're no longer about to be annihilated anymore. So I may have missed my opportunity on that. To be clear, I still think that we did the right thing by not confederating them there. I think that it kind of... it would have put us in a much more precarious position. Especially if that Crooked Moon's army had turned around and just, like, attacked Iron Rock or something. I don't know, we'll see. Once we get big enough, maybe he'll still consider me stronger enough than him that he will be willing to go for it. I'm not actually sure how it works. Obviously, it's easy for us to confederate forces who are about to die, but I don't know if that's because they perceive their strength as low, or because they perceive our strength as much greater than theirs is, due to the fact that their strength is low. Boy, what are you up to? Are these armies all going to Ekrund or Stone Mine? Maybe they plan to take this whole region? Honestly, I'd be fine with that. I don't think that it's particularly valuable for us. Mostly I want our enemies not to have it. I'm surprised that they don't have to devote any of their armies anywhere else. Like, I would imagine Skarsnik is a danger to them, right? He can't be too far north of them. Right, like, there's that mountain range right there where Grimhold is. I think Skarsnik has Grimhold. Okay, my walls have been temporarily damaged. Oh no.
No way.
Yeah, because, like, Grimgor Ironhide's not going to stop until we make him stop, right? Well, let's have the High King park for one more turn. We may as well go to full, pretty much full health. We can have all of the forces resume their attack at the same time. I gotta say, on the whole, Rune of Wrath and Ruin doesn't really seem to be that great. Alright, so we're still 3 turns off of this thing being done and us having access to Giant Slayers. Do I really want to spend a ton of money just also making us have Giant Slayers in the adjacent province? We're probably going to recruit from Eastern Sylvania quite a bit. Hold on. We need to start an upgrade in Mount Gunbad. This is a thing that we need money for. Is there anything else super pressing? No, not really. You know what? I don't have anybody... I kept not starting recruitment from the global pool because I was like, you know, we'll, into encampment mode. So I was like, well, hold on, I want to leave this stuff available for the next army that we start recruitment in. And then I started recruitment in all of my armies and didn't have anybody pulling stuff from the global pool. So we can... Let's see, we could start moving next turn on Valaya's Sorrow. Or we could wait one turn longer and really fill out Craig's Strong Arms army. I mean, I guess we may as well. We have a ton of income. Okay, so let's make this a little bit more of a full-fledged army. We're going to grab a couple units of Longbeards and a couple units of Slayers, or honestly, probably more Longbeards. And then, like... Okay, so that gives us 2 turns of full recruitment there. In 2 turns, this is almost an entire army, and we'll be able to roll over what's-his-face pretty easily. So I guess this is another turn where we're not really not really accomplishing much. We've had a couple of very aggressive videos. We just ran out of gas a little bit. It's alright, our refractory period is almost over. That's a gross way to describe anything having to do with battle. I immediately regret it, and I would like to apologize. But we're just about ready to get back on the march here. And honestly, it looks like Granite Hand's going to hit the water pretty soon. It's a shame that heroes can't search the naval ruins, all the mysterious islands and whatnot. Given the amount of income we have, I wonder if it might be worth hiring a lord in Barak Var just to sail around the world and grab stuff like this. I know that they toned down the... Oh! The Greenskins ate up the Crooked Moons. That's both good and bad for us. The good news is that means that we no longer have to destroy the Crooked Moons faction. Now, it is now done. The bad news is that means the Greenskins have a lot more money to work with, so we probably have to be a little bit more proactive about removing them from this area.
How dare you darken my hall, us?
1,500 gold? Really? It's just embarrassing. It's an embarrassing offer for both of us. His very existence is at stake, and he couldn't even scrounge up enough for me to, like, I don't know, upgrade a single building. Oh, hey, look at that. Argolan also was eaten up in Confederation, so that is objectives getting checked off here with remarkable speed. I kind of can't believe our luck there. So once we break down Azhag the Conqueror, we're going to have to push west and just, like, really scour the Badlands. If we can get the situation to it being the case that the Greenskins only exist over here, that's going to be really good for us. It'll mean that Ungrim's army, Ungrim and Ungrim's backup, after we do that and then push south enough to make contact with the Tomb Kings, might be able to just completely repurpose and go to another area altogether. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be looking too far into the future. We are pretty far off from wiping out the greenskins entirely. Although it looks like Tilia is going to do some of that lifting. Oh, hey, sandstorms. I'm pretty sure sandstorms are not naturally occurring weather. If we're seeing a sandstorm, I think that means that there is a Tomb King's army doing stuff in this region. I think for the most part we shouldn't have to fight them. Like I said, they, like I believe I have said in the past, they take the great power modifier as a positive, not a negative. So they should be friends with us pretty much immediately. Or sorry, this isn't what I want. Objectives. Yep, it did check those off. I was lucky. Okay, Rune of Negation. Every 90 seconds we could have 25 seconds of 22% damage resistance in that whole area. It's the aura on that is 40 meters. That's the same size as his armor buff, right? Yeah. That's huge. That's a really, really big increase in effectiveness for that army. Alright, we're one turn off of having this done. It's probably worth it to finish upgrading this so that we can get Longbeards here. And then, yeah, we're probably looking mostly at small upgrades in other places. We should keep pushing these mine upgrades.
One rug. You know who I am.
We could delay further, but I think we probably ought to get aggressive here. So what we want to do while we're moving through Vampire Lands is go pretty slowly. Probably move 50% each turn and then go into encampment stance, with which both makes us immune to attrition and turns on our replenishment. That is going to mean a slow march. Actually, that doesn't even get him out of his current province, but we don't want to step in here and have less than 50%. So we can get another turn of good replenishment. You should march to... apparently only to right here? It's weird. Why is he taking attrition damage when you're not? It's the same... well, you know, it's the same province, but it's not the same region. I thought... yeah, 42 minus 3. Okay. I thought corruption was a province-level thing, not a region-level thing. It's weird that he was taking attrition damage and Grombrindle wasn't. Well, whatever. It's coming down. What is it trending toward? 12%? Yeah, 12% will be fine. Actually, it won't be 12% once these armies aren't here anymore. Upgrading the Slayer Shrine does help with that, right? Yeah, we would gain another 4 points of Untainted. So we probably do want to do this soonish. Okay, still no here. Should probably go ahead and push the growth buildings. Well, we should move Thorgrim, right?
Throw bearers. Let's march.
Looks like... I wonder where Iron Fist went. Is he... he's not visible down here, so he maybe went west to try to get Karakern.
Very well. I agree.
I'm a little worried about getting caught out of position in underway stance, which obviously disables retreat. He could be over here in ambush mode or something. I don't know, this is fine. This gives us enough movement to hit Grenstadt for sure, to support against Andreas von Karlsbruck if we have to. Yeah, that's probably fine. You know, actually, this might have been a good turn to do a quest battle. Because we have to wait one more turn on recruits anyway. Yeah, but I don't want his army to get all torn up. We're about to make a big push on the greenskins. He needs to be in okay health. And for right now, I think we probably just need to keep all this crazy income going, because we have some very expensive building upgrades in our near future. Get him, Ghost King. No, nothing? I was really hoping this guy was running over to assassinate that other agent. So I don't want that guy running over to Thorgrim and blocking my army or anything. Which it looks like he is in fact going to do. Come on, fail. Okay, good. It probably wouldn't have ended up mattering. I don't think he could have stopped me from getting to Grenstadt. That's a pretty short walk. Alright, looks like we're going to have another big fight for Fort Obersteier, but this is pretty much their remaining territory, right? We are not far at all off of killing them completely here. It's a shame though, like if I don't want to own this territory, that puts us in kind of an awkward spot as far as replenishment goes. Maybe we could take Wortbad in the Moot. I'm just thinking here that that's a source of wine. We currently... You know, we didn't have wine before. Now that we're trading with Bretonia, we probably do, actually.
I'll have your words.
Wow, that's a bit of a jump. Absolutely not. I don't think we're even on a first-name basis yet, dude.
Greetings. You no doubt have
a military alliance. See, I'm a little worried that they're going to declare war on someone stupidly, so... It probably would be safe, given their relative size and the fact that they're friends with all our friends and everything. But I don't want them to be like, well, now I have a great big powerful ally, I'm going to declare war on these Wood Elves, and then a bunch of Wood Elf armies show up on my shore. Yeah, I dig this thing where Tilia is watching our southern border. That's going to make it a lot more feasible for us to take out the Greenskins with just Ungrim and What's-His-Face. I should probably learn that guy's name, or I should just change his name to Ungrim's backup. Alright, it's been kind of a long, slow numbers management video. Let's wrap things up with some violence, huh? We got our underway trade caravans going. Only 5 turns for another 10% income. I think we should take it. And let's blow some stuff up.
Grimnir's axe thirsts.
Wait, hold on. Encircle. This is part of a province with Averheim. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason for us to leave this up. Just trying to make sure that there wasn't a good reason for me to occupy it myself. That's a lot of money. That's kind of a lot of money, but also it will slow us down a turn. Because after your army has sacked a settlement, you can't raise it in the same turn. I'm just trying to get rid of Vampire Town. Or Greenskin Town too, but also Vampire Town. So, what do I want to do with you next? We could continue pushing along the red line, which the AI started. Pick up some more grudges. Yeah, you know what? He might end up fighting Grimgor Ironhide before all is said and done. And after that, he's probably going to end up fighting Greenskins over in this area, Carrick Norn and Carrick Asgaraz. We probably have to own this region, don't we? Yeah, the Southern Grey Mountains, that is definitely on our list. Okay, yeah, so that's not a wasted skill point. He will be fighting Greenskins for some time to come. What am I doing? I should finish moving my lords first, because they will determine how much money we actually have. Alright, Crombrindle can get into range to do this turn. So let's do it. Fort Obersteier is this province. Yeah, I don't think there's any real reason for us to own this. I mean, at minus 15% income from all buildings, even if we took this all over, it would provide us with some money. I don't know, it's positive to have it, but also I want my allies to get stronger, and I don't want to have to manage all this.
Let's go.
Right, like you have, what do you call it, beastmen showing up all the time, and there's no way to actually eliminate them.
To Kazakh.
Let's continue siege. So basically, I want it to be somebody else's problem. I need a good reason to hold on to a region, like it having a gold mine.
Joey, forward.
still going to make me do this manually, huh? Alright, I will say that this settlement has a lot more flying units, which is certainly a concern. We have some more organ guns now. I mean, this should be pretty straightforward. But also, it's so straightforward that I should probably be able to auto-resolve it. Shouldn't make me do this manually. So we're going to take this and raise it, and then, unfortunately, we're going to have to figure out a way of replenishing our armies. It might just be a case where it's better to walk forward with two pretty beat-up armies doing the encampment hop thing than it is to back off, just because it's starting to be a lot of distance. And then once we've defeated the vampires, I don't really know how I want to reposition our armies. Grombrindle wants to go west, at least for a little bit, to satisfy his quest objectives. Does Thorgrim also want to go west? Like, who goes north, really, is the question. Somebody has to go fight Norska, and it should be more than one army. So we're going to have to figure that out. Maybe it's Thorgrim and the army that's backing Grombrindle up, and Grombrindle goes west, and like maybe we get a sixth army to back him up. We have the money for it.
For the ancestor gods.
Okay, unfortunately, these are probably just not going to be very useful this fight. Catapults can kind of fire over the wall. These weapons cannot at all. We can maybe roll them in through the gate. At some point. You know, eventually we will have enough control here.
Warriors.
Honestly, just everybody back up. We don't have to get terribly fancy with this. We know what the plan is. You know, you guys probably actually come in second line, right? Alright, now I gotta pay attention. Gotta watch for incoming Vargeists and stuff, and make sure that I don't lose my unit of gyrocopters for no reason.
Don't skirmish.
Let's get over here. If you run directly toward the walls, you're going to get filled with arrows. We took way too much damage to that last time. This is a really clumsy way to have to do this. Okay. See, I probably want the Iron Breakers up the wall first, right? Oh, they just have the gate open right now. That seems like a bad idea. They should probably not let me just charge in through the gate. That said, I know it hasn't happened yet on this campaign, but there was a bug for a while where it would appear that the gate was open, but it wasn't. And you couldn't interact with it because it was open, so it wasn't there for you to click on. But, like, your guys just wouldn't go through. Alright, all the second string melee can start moving up now. They'll catch up.
Range far, range fast.
It is a shame how little climbable space there is on the walls this time. But that vampire is right up front. I don't know that that's a good idea. Everybody get into positions where they actually can't shoot their towers at us anymore. Alright, so they do have, like, Great Weapon Graveguard and stuff. These vampire troops are actually a little bit more capable of fighting us on the walls in a way that's actually kind of dangerous. As soon as we've cleared this plane, we probably want to start running forward. Like, these forces can already get on it. It'll be kind of a lot of micromanagement of the backfield here. Honestly, pretty much everything. Just, like, try to get into a position where you're not being shot. Okay, I appreciate this. The Ironbreaker's just hurling grenades off of the tower. Or off the wall. Are we close to busting this part of the wall? Honestly, it probably wouldn't even be a big deal, right? For the wall to break. They have Crypt Horrors, which I guess are a little scary. They have some Black Knights that they're not currently getting to use. I can't... There we go. Oh, this part of the wall is indestructible. Never mind. We've actually done a lot of damage to this tower by accidentally hitting it with shots that are aimed at these guys. It's just going to be dead soon.
For the ancestors!
I was trying to wait until the towers were out of the battle before bringing forward the gyrocopters, because I don't want us to take extra damage, but actually we're going to be able to squeak in over here. How about this vampire? Okay. Yeah, once the vampire's down, things are going to get a little simpler. Yeah, I think in this case, probably what we want to do is just take control of the gate and go inside. I don't think I'm that worried about the stuff that they're not able to bring up onto the gate. You guys should maybe re-angle here so that we're not, our missed shots are not going down into our troops. There we go, that's a little better. It seems like they're getting some stuff done, not really doing a lot of damage.
Let the vengeance begin!
Right, how do we not have control of this gate already?
It's a game!
Now that Grombrindle's up there, that'll probably get done. Yeah, so once we have control of the gate, we can move through it. We'll get the Organ Gunners set up inside, and they are probably pretty good at shooting air troops down. I don't think we've seen a ton of evidence of it, but the Organ Gun projectiles are a lot faster than a lot of siege weapons are. We'll set up our ranged on the wall, or at least some of them on the wall, so that we can have cover against the Vargeists coming in to take over the, or to take out the Organ Guns. Just burn them down real fast if they show up. Why don't we, at this, we have a moment here, we can just grab all of our Quarrelers and, you two. Just group them up so that I can give some kind of reasonable... Yeah, I guess that's okay. So I can give some kind of reasonable focus fire commands when the flyers show up. We've almost got the vampire down. That's not their garrison lord, is it? No, yeah, their garrison lord is this Ghoul King over here. Well, still, I'd rather not have this vampire up. It is taking forever, though. I guess these guys don't really do that much damage. They're tough as hell, but... I think it's under control. We could probably start focusing on the Graveguard now. So we're having a hell of a time killing enough guys to actually get control of this tower. Let's go ahead and put some more bodies up on that part of the wall. It would be cool if we could get over there and take care of that.
For the ancestors! Attack the Urks!
Also, I want to keep the Banshee, like, pretty swamped, but it doesn't have to be everybody over here. Yeah, gyrocopters are really good. I like gyrocopters a lot. Oh, look at how they're grouped up. Okay, this seems like a fine time to go ahead and drop some bombs. There's that one copter. There we go. Gyrocopters are really good.
Pick your targets well!
Alright. Well, again, the gate appears to be open. I guess let's find out. Let's send the Hammerers through first, because they're not shielded or anything, but they're pretty tough. Oh no, the gate does not appear to be open. It's just very dark in color. Well, we could hack it down. I was kind of trying to keep these troops as fresh as possible, and attacking does spend vigor. I guess let's wait.
Let the vengeance begin!
Plus, we're getting some really, really good damage here.
Iron breakers! Fire on the fort!
Do you all just get over here? Actually, hold on. I want to put those iron breakers in melee mode.
Get in close! Ready to
I
strike!
don't want them throwing grenades into the middle of the Longbeards.
Dinocopter!
Alright, you guys did some fine work.
Off we
Let's
go!
back you up so that hopefully I will not get grabbed by flyers too easily.
Shaw!
Let's try to focus fire on the flyers as quickly as possible. And bats are pretty terrible units. They'll go down quickly. Actually, we can probably just have the gyrocopters get into melee on the bats. That's not going to be a problem. The Vargeists are the ones that are actually dangerous in the air. Right, we're starting to see them break. Yeah, we're going to be just running units down off the wall any moment now. So we should probably grab all the siege stuff. Get a little bit closer here. It is about time to actually move in. Although it looks like all of their Graveguard want to come up on the wall and fight us one by one first, which doesn't seem like a great plan to me. Also, I haven't been trying to use the fireball at all, because I remember it being very difficult to get him to actually shoot it while he was on the wall earlier. Oh no, there we go. We did a little bit. Get him. No escape. Is he actually in there? Okay. It seems like units get stuck and then forget their orders a lot on walls. Like, I think it's a thing that happens in general, but it happens more on walls. Also, I can't believe these bats are still alive. I guess it's hard to tell what health bar belongs to what. Yeah, all of the units of bats are, like, in perfect health. How is this happening?
Is it time?
Alright, I think it's time. Yes, Grumbrindle. To answer your question, I think so. Send a couple units down here, see if we can get the gates open. As soon as we get the siege weapons through, this is going to get really, really ugly for them.
Slayers!
And we probably need the Slayers to stay up here and keep fighting.
We'll guard it!
My units just are not interested in getting off the wall, it would seem. My plan was not to shoot the gate open, but maybe we have to shoot the gate open. Also,
Hammers!
this is ridiculous.
For the High King!
Would you guys go up there and take control of that, please? They're not even in the rectangle. There's nobody to fire out of the tower. Also, since vampires don't believe in, like, bows or anything, what is it that they're shooting at us with?
Rage beyond reckoning. As you say!
You know, for the very small amount of health that this unit is depicted as having, it sure does have a lot of figures left. I'm trying to retarget the fireball here. Come on, you can do it. Turn around, shoot the fire. He's just standing there. No, he didn't fire the fireball. We still have the charge, but it did go on cooldown.
Gyrocopter!
I'm gonna have the gyrocopter disengage because I think they're getting attacked by the Banshee now.
Nothing can stop us! Come on!
What? Who is out here fleeing? People are having a hard time with the Banshee.
To war!
Did you get over here? We all know you're not actually fighting those grave guards.
Longbeards!
This ought to be interesting for him. I think the problem is that he gets bored.
White dwarf!
So let's see if you can kill a ghost with an axe. That sounds like a fun challenge, right? Also, these are the hardiest bats of all time. I've played a couple of campaigns as the vampire counts. And let me tell you something. Whenever I use bats, they melt immediately as soon as they touch any enemies Even if those enemies aren't hitting them, they just die. So it looks like most of the melee we have down here is Slayers. Stuff I had hoped to leave fresh until we take the gate. Hoping that this injured unit of warriors will be able to get the gate by itself. They are kind of taking fire from our own archers as we fire over the wall and miss stuff. Also, something just came off that wall. Just get over here, be far away from the trolls. So I'm the only person with any units in the area here, and it did not even begin to give me control of the gate. And now my dwarf warriors have decided that they're going to retreat again.
Power of the ancestors. I shall.
Oh hey, the fireball fired actually instantly that time. Alright, we're just gonna get through this guy's ethereality by doing way too much damage. Screw like magic or whatever. I'll say this for the vampires. They put up a much better fight than orcs do, in a lot of cases. Right, I had you guys come up the wall explicitly, entirely, so that you could get over here and open the damn gate. Maybe okay, it's actually giving us control of the gate slowly this time. Let's have the Longbeards. Their siege weapons have decided that it is time to fire. The Longbeards provide a little bit of cover as the other heavier stuff comes in behind. Still a tiny, tiny bit of red in the upper right corner. You can barely see it. There it is. Alright, so all of the ranged and all of the siege through immediately. There's so many of us. Alright, which unit thinks it's going all the way down the street there? Yeah, you guys get to stop here. Yeah, whatever. Just get inside. We'll figure it all out once we're inside. And they managed to burn most of their graveyard fighting us up here on the wall early. They've done a lot of damage, but I don't think it's going to turn out to have been worth it. Also, this thing is such a coward. Come on. As soon as we take this thing down, they no longer have a leadership aura at the gate as well, which I'm really looking forward to.
Warriors, withdraw!
Who is fleeing? They've brought an unkillable ghost that screams so loud it knocks people's heads off to fight us. Ooh, big deal. Bunch of babies. No, stop running away, everybody. He's just like, he's really not getting this done.
Nothing can stop us. To the forge. Go! Charge! Warriors!
Are we not on fire at will? Why are people not shooting at the trolls?
We demand blood.
Hey guys, there are enemies right there. That was weird. Yeah, see, Grumbrindle has a real problem maintaining his orders. I definitely did not have him doing anything other than fighting this Banshee. See, this is super... Some weird stuff is going on in this battle. This is super weird. Why are these crypt horrors just standing here and taking... Oh, because some quarrelers decided to run forward and melee them. Ah, because some of the one unit of the quarrelers managed to expend all their ammo. I saw people running forward, but I just assumed that their line of sight was occluded, and that was the problem. They were just running forward to get the shot. So I don't want to run forward too much here. I don't know, maybe we do. It's kind of waiting for the stuff on the wall to finish unraveling. Actually, you know what? Cromwell, you probably need to get up here and keep fighting Graveguard, because everything on the wall is still pretty messed up. Told you guys to get out of there. Yeah, it kind of looks like a lot of our units have stopped firing, despite the fact there's no reason to do that because crypt horrors are large units and can be targeted over people that are engaged in melee. Okay, now we're firing up at the wall, which we weren't doing before. I think it's the units when they're packed in too close together just get stupid. Alright, let's set up a flanking force. We're just gonna have to start moving. The construction of these streets is really annoying because they make it hard to use siege weapons. It's the most important thing is getting the organ guns, like right here. They'll be able to do a lot of damage from there. And it's like taking forever to kill these things. Let's grab these units and move them out to here, maybe? This way. They can fire at the back of the crypt horrors, because they apparently will not, under any circumstances, fire at the front of them. Yeah, the units don't seem to be able to understand their orders when they're... It might be an issue of them being packed in really close together like that. Okay. In fact, you guys are coming over here. We finally managed to get the Vargeist to come forward.
Withdraw! Slayers! Vengeance! Quarrelers! Pass through!
Not sure what these Vargeists are actually doing. They keep acting like they're going to land. Okay. Finally, they have picked a target. That's a pretty good place for them to have stopped, because they're right in range of pretty much all of our ranged here.
For the ancestors! Slayers!
Kill out all of you. These crypt horrors are just like invulnerable. We've had how many units hacking at them for how long?
By my beard, I shall.
This is a real problem that we have sometimes with these vampire armies, is that nothing ever dies.
Ready to serve.
Honestly, get over here and fight the crypt horrors. Everybody fight these crypt horrors. Okay, the Vargeists are pretty much dead.
Battle!
As these things die,
The book of Bruges shall be filled with sanguinars.
I kind of think we want to come around this way. I want to leave them with no safe angles. Looks like some of the organ gunners are maybe in position. Those organ gun projectiles.
For the ancestor gods, move!
Okay, there we go. I think the Vargeists actually have to do something.
Fight!
I'm going to turn off guard mode for these guys. Do whatever you have to do to get in range. Alright, everything over here that's not siege needs to basically just run forward. At this point, they got nothing left. Just go. Guys up on the wall are still fighting Graveguard.
Stop! Turrets!
Oh, hey, he actually fired that. I was like, we'll set this to fire now, and then we'll come back in 10 seconds and figure out whether he actually did it. Anyway, the gyrocopter should go after the dogs. Because the dogs are pretty weak. I don't want to put the gyrocopters in combat with anything that's actually going to be able to hurt them. Okay, there we go. Finally a break. That took a crazy amount of time, especially considering that they were basically never doing well at any point during that battle. I'll be happy to be done fighting vampires. Honestly, like, if we have to go on fighting greenskins for the entire rest of the campaign, that won't be so bad. But man, I'm already, like, super sick of vampires. These battles are not, they're not more difficult in, like, they're not more difficult in the sense of me having decisions to make. They're more difficult in that they're eating more of our troops, I guess. They hurt more, but they're not more difficult. But they're so much longer. Yeah, honestly, that wasn't even that many dead. It looked worse than it was. So, pushing forward from here is maybe going to be a little difficult. We'll see. I don't really want to have to fall back. I want to get this done. I want the Vampire Counts faction out of the game. And we should take out the Von Karsteins too, since we're going to be over there. Just so that I never have to worry about vampires again. I think there's some minor vampire factions in the south, and then also on the other continent I think there's one or two, but hopefully we won't actually be responsible for the extermination of those ones. Yeah, just burn it. Ah, yeah, here's another good reason to raise stuff. Raising things gives you reduction in the amount of time enemy sieges or enemies can hold out while you're sieging them. This is a big deal. So yeah, we're headed for Wurtbad. Do we... Hold on. Do we have access to wine? Yeah, okay, we are importing wine. So I don't actually need Wurtbad. I just need them not to have it. Works for me.
The dwarfs need me. The axe thirsts for war.
Yeah, these armies are in miserable states. They might not be able to go and push up to Wurtbad. We might actually have to fall back. That really sucks. It's taken them so long to get the job done. And then let's have a look at this. I don't think we should have to do this. I don't think we should have to do this manually, rather.
Heading out.
These two armies should have a real easy auto-resolve here, but let's find out if that's actually true. It's not. We are, in fact, going to have to fight this manually. Well, that'll probably be at least reasonably fun. Okay, so that'll be how we start the next episode. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all very much for watching. Come back next time. Maybe, fingers crossed, we can finally finish this vampire nonsense. And we'll see you then.